Good morning, primetime champions. Or maybe it's good afternoon or good evening. Who knows when you're watching this. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope that you are taking care of everybody in your family and everybody's just looking out for everybody else. So I spent some time studying articles about Navy submariners and NASA astronauts, both groups of people who are forced to spend long periods of time in extremely close quarters with one another. My question was, how do they not strangle one another after months of being cooped up? I sometimes can feel that urge, and I actually love everybody in my house. But still, I know there's some of you out there secretly plotting ways to take out one of your siblings or someone else in the house, or maybe even a dog who's driving you crazy. Obviously, submariners and Navy or NASA astronauts get extensive training before embarking on those missions. But one key idea that kept coming up when I was reading was they keep their focus on the mission. Every sailor in the sub depends on every other sailor to do his or her job to keep the ship and everybody aboard safe. Same for the astronauts. Everybody on the team's survival depends on everybody else to do their job to complete the mission. What sailors and astronauts all talk about is the ability to communicate with the people that they're with and always being mindful of the mission. NASA calls these social skills expeditionary skills. They include self-care, cultural competency, leadership, followership, and teamwork and communication. And they receive purposeful training on these skills because they know that when they are on a mission, there's going to be times when they're living in those close quarters that can lead to tension and stress, and they need to know how to handle it. What is our mission? Our mission is to keep everybody in the house healthy. I'm sure you have heard people say that we need to flatten the curve to give us all the best chance that we can to survive, to avoid catching this virus and avoid spreading it to other people. That's our mission. And it's really hard that we can't go and play sports and go on trips and see our friends and family members. But we're all on the same mission together. These feelings that we all have of frustration and loss and loneliness, they're all real and valid. And it's normal to have an urge to want to go Hulkamania and rage through the house. At least I hope it's normal. But this is a mission of survival. And it helps when you're on a mission like this to focus on why we are making these sacrifices. We are all part of something bigger. For example, in my house, my daughter watches out the window as neighbor kids are playing closely together in their yards, but she doesn't join them. It helps her to remember that her dad, me, has asthma and might be more vulnerable to this virus, so she doesn't join. She does that for me. She also wants to be able to see her grandparents, but she can't if she's been playing too closely with other people who don't live with us. So many of us are probably in that same situation where you or somebody in your house, somebody in your family might be more at risk than others. But even if you are all young, healthy people in your house, you can still get really sick from this. And if they let us all go out and live our normal lives, who knows who might get sick and who you might have contact with. So it's hard when we can't see this enemy that we're fighting, but it's there. And we need to be mindful of that fight, as frustrating and as boring or as lonely as it may seem. Think of this as a mission that we're all part of. The mission is a war against this virus, and there's heroes in this war already. Women and men who work in clinics, hospitals, caring for contagious sick people. People working in grocery stores and other businesses that have to, be open and be in contact with everybody else. They're risking their health to serve others. One day this will end, but until then, we all need to do our part for everybody else. Think of everybody's house as a submarine, not a sandwich. And we need every person in every sub to be taking care of themselves and the people in their boats. The best way we can help the cause is to stay home, stay healthy, And that sounds easier than it is sometimes, I know. So some of the things we want to cover in upcoming prime times are these skills that NASA and Navy develop, these expeditionary skills. Consider this part of your training to help all of us succeed in this mission together. Thanks for watching.